let's go ahead and talk about Wren Baker's letter to Mountaineer Nation. And for those of you who may not be aware, I'm going to go ahead and share this with everybody and kind of read it. And then Jonathan and I will give our thoughts. Dear Mountaineer Nation, as we transition into the spring sports season, I want to provide an update on our position within the evolving landscape of collegiate athletics and underscore the critical role revenue generation plays in ensuring our department remains among the nation's elite. Collegiate athletics is undergoing the most transformational period in its history, driven by unprecedented changes in governance, conference realignment, name, image, and likeness opportunities, and the evolving financial landscape. As we adapt to these shifts, the need for innovation, strategic planning, and sustainable revenue generation has never been greater. The House versus NCAA case has the potential to reshape the financial model of collegiate athletics by paving the way for revenue sharing with student athletes. If implemented, this shift would require WVU Athletics to rethink its budget, as funds previously allocated to operations, facilities, and other areas may need to be redirected to compensate athletes. To navigate this, we must explore new revenue streams. I think that's the key. New revenue streams and ways to grow our current revenue while managing our costs effectively. We are actively preparing for these changes and working closely with the university to ensure long-term relevancy and success. In the coming weeks and months, we will share key initiatives with you aimed at addressing a $20 million increase in expenditures. These efforts are critical in sustaining our spot in the national landscape and growing WVU athletics. Your ongoing support and involvement will play a vital role as we move forward in this important endeavor. As we navigate these future financial challenges, we are committed to sustaining competitive excellence among our 18 varsity sports programs. Your continued support in these areas will help propel WVU athletics forward. And he lists ways we can help by purchasing season tickets, becoming a member of the Mountaineer Athletic Club, or market-based name, image, and likeness support for student athletes. He closes by saying, changing college athletics is happening, and we will keep you informed. I sincerely thank you once again for your commitment. Your unwavering loyalty, generosity, and support are the foundation of our storied past and bright future. Let's go. Signed, Wren Baker. So, Jonathan, what are your initial thoughts on that letter from Mr. Baker?
My first thought is, Couz, if you got any extra cash in that wallet, go ahead and get it out.
Yeah.
Because you're about to pay up.
Yep.
Now, I'll pause for a second. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But when I read that letter, and you and I are both in business, you and I both to a certain degree are in finance. Mm-hmm. We do money. When I read that letter, it screams to me, we need more money. So let me back up just a little bit. First off, I don't think Wren Baker's a very intelligent individual. I don't think Wren Baker sends that letter if there's not something, and even admits it, something coming down the pipe pretty quick. There's a reason why that letter was put out today. It's changing. We know that. West Virginia is actively looking at ways to increase revenue. We know that. He acknowledged it. But I think that was very strategic to be placed out there today because something could happen pretty soon. Second thought, prepare to give. I don't know what the idea will be. I don't know what the thoughts and plans and strategies they have coming up with. But let's just be as honest as we can here. It's going to require West Virginia fans to pay more money. Maybe it was you today. I had a busy day. Maybe it was you. I saw somewhere somebody suggested that there could be a fee added on to tickets. Mm-hmm. If that wasn't you, I apologize.
I think I may have requoted somebody else's tweet. But
okay, I just happened to see that at a free moment today. That's something that I think other schools have kind of floated an idea around. So if you're paying $80 for a ticket, you could pay an extra $20 charge on it. Having said all that, he is extremely accurate that this is where it's headed. If you want to compete, you're going to have to do these things. Nobody wants to give more necessarily. Everything's tight. It's a tough economy. We get it. But if you want to win and you want to be successful, this is where we're at, and it's going to require money.
Yep. Yep. I agree. And I'm like you. I don't. it's a necessity. I mean, right? As
Yeah.
fans, what do we want? We want our team to compete. We want our team to be able to win, compete for conference titles, college football playoff spots, those types of things. There's no way West Virginia can do that without spending money. I mean, you've got the House settlement case looming. If that gets is it ratified? Is that the right word? If it gets approved,
Yeah.
It's an extra $20 million that he mentioned in there that West Virginia right now don't have. So they have got to find it, right? He talked about shifting money from
Yep.
one part, one bucket to another, essentially. But you got to do more than that, right? You've got to come up with new revenue streams, which you mentioned.
Yep.
Probably ticket prices are going to go up. You talked about the fees. Wouldn't be surprised if, heck, we might even see different higher prices at the concession stands. I don't know. I'm just throwing out different things here. Don't be surprised if you start at some point might start seeing some corporate logos on the field. Don't be surprised if you start seeing more corporate logos inside the stadium. I mean, there are so many different things this could lead to. And at the end of the day, I know some people don't like all that stuff, and none of us love it. But at the end of the day, it is the world we live in today, and West Virginia has got to do that to compete. So whatever they got to do to compete outside of sit on their soul,
Yep.
I'm cool with it, man. If you got to get a logo on the field, put a logo on the field. I don't care. If you got to put logos in on the Coliseum gym floor, put a logo on the Coliseum floor. I don't care. I'm cool with all of it as long as it helps West Virginia compete. And I just think that's where he's going with this. I think he's kind of laying the groundwork. I also think one part in there that I caught on was working with the university. What's that mean? Well, right, are they going to ask the university for more help? I think so. One way I've read that they can do that is the way they handle scholarship money, for example. Right now, it's my understanding that out of state students, or see, I want to say this right. I think any student athlete who gets a scholarship, the athletic department has to reimburse the university for that scholarship, is my understanding.
Hmm.
I think they're going to try to change it to where that only applies to out-of-state students or in-state students or something like. There's going to be some changes to the scholarship, or they're going to ask for some help from the university in that regard. Again, I apologize for not having. I used to know that, and it's totally. I just can't remember the details, but things like that are could be coming down the pipeline as well. That's why I think he threw in the fact that they're working with the university, because they try not to ask the university for a whole lot of help as far as additional funding. And let's face it, the university's facing some
Yeah.
issues of their own, so they probably can't afford to right now. And they may even ask the state for some help. There's an NIL bill out there that the state of West Virginia is looking at passing. That might be beneficial, which I'm actually planning to do a whole separate show on once I get more details. But there are some things that they can ask the state for help on, right, to help stay competitive as well. So there's going to be a lot of changes. We might see a lot of changes really fast, and like you alluded to, it might be coming sooner rather than later, because this House settlement, if it gets approved, it's going to kick in July 1st of this year.
Yeah.
So they have no time to waste with any of this.
And let's just be honest about it, because college athletics has taken the professional model essentially. I mean, it's basically professional sports, and you're already seeing corporate sponsors in NBA, Major League Baseball. I mean, watch NBA and see a logo on a jersey, see it on a hat, see it on a court, on a baseball field. And I think that was a good thought you had. Is that's potentially when I read new revenue streams, my mind went exactly to where yours
Yeah.
went. Are we going to see logos on jerseys on the field? Are we going to see it? Where will it stop? But it's going to be expensive. And fans might as well go ahead and prepare themselves for increased pricing. One of the first bulletin points there was season tickets. How's that going to look? So, but it has to be done in this landscape if you want to compete.
Yeah.
If you want to compete, it has to be done. And you and I agree on a lot. Sometimes we disagree on some stuff. This is one thing we completely agree on. It has to be done.
Yep.
It has to be. And we might see a Couz's Corner logo coming to a field near you.
Yeah, I
I don't
wish.
know. I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm all in. If it
Yeah.
means you remain competitive in the sports landscape today, it has to be done. And you're going to get some pushback. There's going to be a little resistance, but I think it has to be done.
Yep. Very fair, and I totally agree with you, man.
And I think I'd go back to what I originally said. I think it was very strategic because Wren's very smart.
Yeah.
He didn't just sit down, yesterday evening and write a letter and put it out today. I'm sure there's some things getting ready to come down. So you're probably not going to have to wait too long to find out some of these revenue streams and ideas and how it's going to look moving forward.
I'm wondering if they'll do something at the spring game. I just thought of this. Not necessarily
Yeah.
charge to get in, but will they have some things there for people to do or buy or participate in that cost money? Things like that. I mean, I'm sure they're trying to explore multiple
Yeah.
avenues here. Maybe they start holding more concerts and events at the Coliseum or at the stadium. You know what I mean? I mean, there are so many different things that they could probably do that they haven't done so far and things that they are doing that they can expand on. Right.
And that's something we're going to get off on we're going to end up giving Wren ideas for him by the end of this show. But that's something that actually I think you've brought up before is that there's so many good artists that are tied to West Virginia that if you could somehow, get good concerts, take it from somebody that was just at a sold out concert. I know you attend them.
Yep. A lot.
You,
Yeah. I'm a
you, you,
concert junkie.
you want to talk about making some money? Go to a concert. They're sold out and they're selling a lot of stuff inside of there.
Can you imagine how much Country Roads Trust lager they could sell at a
Have Brad
at a
Paisley
concert?
have Brad Paisley come back and put a concert together at the
Mhm.
Coliseum on a Friday night before a football game,
Yeah.
or just name somebody that
Yeah.
you could get to come in, and so that's a great revenue stream. And for all I know, Wren, if you're listening, that's a good idea. I think.
Maybe start making people pay to come on the Pat McAfee show or attend the Pat McAfee show on
Yeah,
campus instead of letting everybody in for free, right?
yeah.
I mean, I'm just throwing out. I know that there's a lot of students right now that are throwing stuff at their screen. I don't want to pay for that, but no. Look, I'm just brainstorming here. Wren will figure it out. I trust him.